Right, my friends, look, it's another one of those videos, I'm afraid. This one's pretty Heath Robinson as well, but this one is actually from the office, as you can see. So it's been a while since I've done one, so bear with me. I think it's worth doing an update because quite a lot of things have changed, and the purpose for this one is because this week we received some pretty good news for some people like me. Anybody over the age of 45 is now able to book their first dose, and that of course includes anybody in cohorts 1 to 9, so over 80s, over 70s, people who are shielding, all the usual 1 to 9 groups. Yep, if you haven't got your vaccine, please go and get it. But if you're like me, if you're 47, your time has come. Come in number 47, your time is up. Right, so here we go. But before I can come on to the detail of how anyone over 45 can get vaccinated, it's worth reflecting on how successful the rollout of the second dose is, because all vaccines for second doses are preserved, and I'm finding a number of people who've had the experience of the process going incredibly smoothly wherever they're receiving it. So a huge thank you to all those in Tonbridge and Leybourne and Sevenoaks who've done absolutely brilliantly in making sure that our community is getting the rollout of second doses just as well as they did the rollout of the first doses. Now, then there were only a few locations offering it, so it's fantastic that it's all going. Now, some second doses are being administered in other parts, but they are not yet being administered either at the Angel Centre or Jubilee Hall in East Peckham, because of course they weren't open for the first doses in January or February. This will come later on in the process, and the Angel Centre is reopening in a couple of weeks to begin providing second doses for the doses that they provided a few weeks ago. And if you have any questions about your second dose, then please let me know and I can help provide any information you need. However, as I said, the communication from our local NHS has been exemplary so far, and I know the rollout is going very, very well on the whole. And I'm also incredibly grateful to everybody who's very kindly written to me to say how well it's going. But I'm going to tell you quite clearly, I am not taking the credit for this. I am passing it straight on to everybody in our GPs and in our primary care networks to make sure that they are the ones who are recognised for the extraordinary successes that they're doing. The volunteers, the nurses, the doctors, everybody who's been helping out. Now, the reason that the Angel Centre has fully closed is due to the slowdown in vaccine supply, which is happening across the country. And as I said, it will reopen soon, and for first doses after that. So second doses first, and then first doses second. I know, a bit strange. Unfortunately, it means that over 45s like me haven't yet been able to book a local appointment, and many of us have been asked to go further afield, usually into London, Croydon. Some people have been asked to go into Essex, which is quite a long way. And in Medway, there is a mass vaccination centre still open. Now, quite rightly, I am asking why we don't have appointments. Locally, I've joined up with other MPs from Kent to put this to the Vaccines Minister, Nadeem Zahawi, and see what we can do. Now, the reason for this is because we're making sure that the supply goes to places with the lowest uptake. Now, I understand that, but it means that we're a victim of our own success, because on the whole, our take-up rate has been phenomenal and some of the best in the country. So people have really bought into receiving the vaccine and know the benefits it brings all of us, but that also means that with fewer first dose vaccines available, the government understandably wants to make sure that there isn't a postcode lottery in terms of receiving one, has tried hard to get as many people vaccinated where take-up rate has been lower by ensuring vaccine supply remains positive. Now, trying to achieve this and also press on is a real challenge. Having said this, we need to make sure that the diversity in our community is recognised, and even in Tonbridge Morling, there are areas where there's been greater take-up than in others. That's one of the reasons that Tonbridge and Morling Borough Council worked to get a pop-up vaccination centre in East Morling on Monday, with another 72 people in eligible cohorts being vaccinated, which is fantastic. So I'm working with other Kent MPs to see whether our own supplies can increase as soon as possible. I'm hopeful that we'll be successful, and on Wednesday afternoon we all met to try and get this pushed. Now, I hope that this provides some update, but nonetheless, it's not as long as the many of the former ones. I hope that's a positive. It's not the 12, 14-minute marathons that some of them have been, but I hope this provides a useful update on where we are. And when you look abroad, you can see how much of a success we are having relative to many other countries. One last thing, Moderna. So there's a new vaccine coming out, and I'm not exactly sure when that is going to be, but it's now been approved, and so that should be coming in a few weeks as well. And this will ensure we get even more supply coming in days even before the summer. So if you are under 50 but over 45 like me, do try and book a vaccine as soon as you can. I'm going to be booking one as soon as I can in our community, and I will keep pushing to make sure that we get vaccines when we need them in Tonbridge and Morling, and make sure that our community is not just the most vaccinated, it's already doing pretty well on that score, but maintains the supplies necessary to make sure that the new doses of first dose vaccine come to us all. So I will leave it there, but last point, and definitely not least, thank you. Thank you to so many people across our community who have done the most amazing job and continue to do the most amazing job over these trying times. I can't imagine where we'd be without you. Whether you're a volunteer or a taxi driver, whether you're a supermarket worker or a nurse, whatever it is, you've been amazing. Now, as we're allowed out again, some of us are going to be going to the pub on the weekend, I hope. Please do support local businesses. It's been very difficult for a lot of local businesses recently, so please get down the high street, support local businesses, and support the hospitality industry in our area. Thanks very much.